Hi everyone, my name's Patrick and I have been teaching English as a second language since 2017. And since the pandemic, I have been teaching speaking classes online and I've been without school for about 4 months now. I offer basically three types of classes. The first one is Cambridge Picture Description for beginners. This is great for helping students practice skills necessary for the Cambridge exam, although it's also a really good way for any young learner to improve their speaking skills. In this class, we will focus on one particular picture each week. It could be a spot the difference activity or a picture with silly aspects to it that the students can point out. These interactive activities really help to engage students in the task and give them motivation to speak. They they want to find the differences in the picture, or they want to find the strange things in the picture, and that gives them a bit of impetus to speak for particularly for shy students. This is useful. I'll show you a couple of examples of this now.
Oh, here is a candle up of the camping house.
What do we call the camping house? Do you remember? It begins with a T.
The camping, the tent's roof has a candle.
Candle is a really good try. What's this? What's coming out of the candle?
Some clouds, some gray clouds.
It's smoke. Yeah. So as you can see, a really good way to build vocabulary, practice prepositions, and start to gain a more firm grasp of grammar. The second class that I do is B1 Cambridge Picture Description. The kind of pictures we look at in this class are quite different. They are for more advanced learners. We use pictures from newspaper articles, scenes from films, this kind of thing. And while it is also a good way to build vocabulary, I try to encourage students to talk in a little more depth about these kind of pictures rather than just saying what they see. They are encouraged to give their opinions, to speculate on what might be happening in the picture, or maybe talk about the picture in a broader context. I will show some examples of that now.
He has like a bat or a bat's like ears, and then something that on his nose.
Yeah.
And then he has like a open space.
Yeah. We could probably, it's like a helmet more than a mask, isn't it? Yeah.
And then all his body is covered in like shields and stuff.
Shields?
On his shoulder, he has like things against things. Like on an outfit, you can call it, maybe.
I know why you would say shields. Like a shield is kind of something that you hold rather than something you...
Yeah, not a shield. They're like, don't know.
Armor.
Yeah, armor. That was what I was looking for.
And the last type of class that I do is everyday English. Now, this is more like a booster class for the previous two classes. We don't do picture description in these classes. These are more focused on games, particularly a word guessing game, which I'll show an example of now.
It's like a face and a mouth.
A face and a mouth.
A face
Could you say more?
and a mouth, like some feelings.
Could you say more? I think I know it, but try and say more.
Okay. Like Your face
Hmm.
looked like the letter U.
Good. Smile.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can say that is, I can see what you're trying to say. So we can say it's a facial expression. Yeah, facial expression. Hmm. You could also say you do this when you are happy. Yeah. Yeah. Could you say for me facial expression?
Facial expression.
Good. Okay.
And the categorization game, which is like a spin on the classic classroom game Stop the Bus, which I'll show an example of now.
Has to begin with, we'll choose a letter. So your name's Agnes, so we'll choose the letter A. Tell me something that goes there, and then we'll talk about your answer a little
You
bit.
mean the animal that starts with an A?
Exactly that, yeah. So if we were doing animals that begin with T, you could say tiger, right?
Apple.
Apple, yeah.
And the building is apartment.
Apartment, yeah. Good. Well done. Let's just quickly talk about a couple. So apple, I guess there's not too much we can say about apples, right? Apartment, okay. So what is an apartment then? What kind of building is this?
Like it's like a tall building.
Why is an apartment different to a house?
Because the house just has 1 or 2 floors, and the apartment building has 20 to 30 floors.
Yeah, we could say it like this. Yeah. That's right. Usually as well, a house is its own building, right? Whereas an apartment, if you live in an apartment, there are many other people in the same building. You just have a few rooms of the building, right?
Again, the gamified aspect of this I find really encourages students to speak more than in more traditional tasks. When a student correctly identifies a word in the right category, that gives them a bit of a boost. They've got that right. Gives them a little bit more encouragement to then go and talk about the answer that they've given, as you've seen in the clip. Same with the word guessing game. If they correctly guess a word that another student describes, that lifts their confidence a little bit to describe a word themselves. I try to give feedback fairly often, at least after the first class, and then after that, after every couple of classes. I will always provide the material from the class for the student to review in their own time. So that being the picture and the new vocabulary and sentences. This is really important. I firmly believe that the most important work for improving your language speaking skills is done outside of the classroom. One important aspect as well is trying to meet students where they are. While my classes are separated into 3 different levels, that's A1, A2, and B1, there is still going to be some variation of ability within classes. So for example, with a more advanced learner, I might ask follow-up questions and will typically correct any mistakes they make more thoroughly. With a less advanced student, we want to praise them if they give an accurate answer and not correct the pronunciation quite as thoroughly, because we want them to feel like they are making progress. That's everything from me. I really appreciate everybody listening to me today. Have a great Christmas and Happy New Year.